People sometimes talk about a leap of faith, right? Like the idea that maybe there's some point at which rationality and math and science and some of that stuff from your paper you mentioned earlier, it can take you to a certain place, but there's actually a gap and you have to leap. Do you believe that that's true, or is it all rational all the way?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it depends on what we mean by a leap. There is a point at which in many things, not just in religion, actually in all domains, we don't have certainty. So, but we have to make a choice of how we're going to live. And that's where I would say, yes, and of course, in that sense, I'm not saying you can be certain about everything that the Bible is teaching or that your religion has taught to you, the traditions and the theology and the doctrine. No, you are not certain. But I do think it's not opposed to reason. And so for many things, all kinds of forms of faith, of trust, of individuals, of how sturdy this chair is, I am not 100% certain.
Are you saying that certainty is equated to sight? Sight and certainty are the same thing?
They're not. No, you can be uncertain in sight too. But there is a certain kind of certainty that comes from sight. Here's what I can be certain of with my sight. I can be certain that I am being appeared to or having a sensation as if there's a water bottle here. Yeah. That maybe I can be certain of, and that's based in sight. But what I can't be certain of, however, is that there is a water bottle here. And this is where I think doing some philosophy really helps, because you start to realize, oh, there's much less things that I'm certain about than I initially would have thought. For example, that the past exists.
Right.
Past like 5 minutes ago when all of the world popped into existence with all of our memories. Like, can you be certain of that? Or that there's an external world, like that there is a water bottle, that I'm not in the Matrix, that all of these skeptical scenarios. How do we...
I heard a wild...
Do we take a leap?
I heard a wild theory the other day that there are some people, even a couple, maybe a serious historian, who thinks that maybe during the medieval period, medieval clerics and people invented the entire medieval period and an entire past for Christianity, during that time in Christian Europe. So like that radical skepticism could go really deep.
Radical skepticism is radical. It is huge.
Yeah.
And so we have to ask ourselves, are we taking a leap? Well, we're not certain about these things, but nevertheless, I would claim at least that we are still reasonable. We are still rational in informing the opinions that we do. If you're a radical skeptic, maybe you will deny that. Most epistemologists deny that kind of radical skepticism. They think, no, we have a ton of reasonable beliefs about all kinds of matters in this life and in the world, even though we lack certainty.